Day 30, Toadstool State Park in Fort Robinson. So after Badlands, as I was making my way down South Dakota into Nebraska, and that's another advantage of not going on the interstate, I saw a sign for something called Wild Horse Sanctuary, and I was like, okay, I gotta check this out. So you turn up the highway and you drive for a while down a dirt road, and you come to this place that used to be a private ranch. And then its owner decided that he does not want a ranch anymore, and he's going to donate all this territory to become sanctuary for wild horses. Now, surprising as it may seem, there are a lot of wild horses living currently in America, pretty much in every one of the Midwestern and Western states. And if somehow Park Service or rangers become aware of a wild horse that is sick or injured, and they happen to have a budget for it, they sedate it and transport it to this wild horse sanctuary. Currently, there are close to 500 horses there, and there are actually a few different species of wild horses, and it's amazing to see how they devolve to adjust to living in the wild. They become shorter and they become furry because this way it's much easier to survive the winter. So if you happen to be around there, Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary is a wonderful place to visit. So continuing south, I wanted to stop by this abandoned town called Ardmore in South Dakota. But as I was driving up to it on the road, it did not look completely abandoned, and that was even creepier. So I just continued on. And then for about 100 miles, you drive through something called Oglala National Grassland. And it's just prairies and prairies and prairies with no end, and they are so beautiful. Following the same highway south, you get to the Toadstool Geological Park. And it's called this way because it has these weird geological formations that really resemble toadstools. It also has a lot of fossils, which of course you're not allowed to remove. But in any case, as my luck went, I did not find any. Another nickname for this park is the Badlands of Nebraska. I could really see where the comparison is coming from, but after seeing the ones in South Dakota, it didn't really come close. The toadstools, though, were still very nice. As I continued down south, I planned to end up for the night in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. So I'm driving down the highway and I see a sign for something called Fort Robinson State Park. And I'm like, wait, this sounds familiar. And then I realize that just last morning when I was in Crazy Horse, they talked about him and his band of Indians surrendering to the US Army and him being taken to Fort Robinson where he was eventually killed. And I'm like, wait, so is this the spot? So I pull up to the booth and I tell the girl that I'm looking for a place where Crazy Horse was killed. And she says, yeah, it's right here in between those two buildings. So I go up there and it has a stone marker and it has a little memorial all of its own with 4 stones symbolizing east, west, north, south. Eventually they're going to have the names of almost 900 people who surrendered with Crazy Horse etched on them. There is a stone in the middle for offerings and the marker itself, which marks the spot where Crazy Horse was stabbed by one of the soldiers and shortly afterwards died from his wounds. And this is how, completely by chance, I came across one more point in my General Custer Crazy Horse Little Bighorn circle of the trip. And after that, all I had left to do for the day was just to make it to Scottsbluff, driving through the prairies, well, not actually prairies, because Nebraska is a little bit hilly, at sunset and enjoying the views.